Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the first time AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you. Charles, what a turnaround they've had down in Houston. 4-12 just 2 seasons ago, 11-5 with a wild card loss last year, and now here they are in Super Bowl 54.
We know the city of Houston pretty well, right? Because it's hosted Super Bowls. What have they hosted? 3 so far in their history? The Oilers prior to. Now, of course, the Texans. Neither one of them has ever played in the big game. So that city's got to be out of its mind. I mean, think about how excited they are to have the Texans representing in the Super Bowl. They've been good recently. Now they got over the top, have a chance to take home the Lombardi Trophy.
Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are back in the Super Bowl for just the second time in franchise history. I know one thing, they'd love a repeat of that first appearance.
Would they ever? That was 2003 in San Diego, and it was Super Bowl 37. They were the underdogs coming in against the Oakland Raiders, and they flogged the Raiders in that game, 48-21. You know what I remember most about that? John Gruden was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he'd previously been the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And during practice leading up to the game, he would play scout team quarterback and tell the defense all the characteristics and mannerisms of the Raiders quarterback, Rich Gannon, and had his defense totally prepared. And boy, did they play well and won their first Super Bowl title.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's letting this one go. He's got him in. Complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
6-man. Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Watson with a give to Miller. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3 points. Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the first time AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you. Charles, what a turnaround they've had down in Houston. 4-12 just 2 seasons ago, 11-5 with a wild card loss last year, and now here they are in Super Bowl 54.
We know the city of Houston pretty well, right? Because it's hosted Super Bowls. What have they hosted? 3 so far in their history? The Oilers prior to. Now, of course, the Texans. Neither one of them has ever played in the big game. So that city's got to be out of its mind. I mean, think about how excited they are to have the Texans representing in the Super Bowl. They've been good recently. Now they got over the top, have a chance to take home the Lombardi Trophy.
Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are back in the Super Bowl for just the second time in franchise history. I know one thing, they'd love a repeat of that first appearance.
Would they ever? That was 2003 in San Diego, and it was Super Bowl 37. They were the underdogs coming in against the Oakland Raiders, and they flogged the Raiders in that game, 48-21. You know what I remember most about that? John Gruden was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he'd previously been the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And during practice leading up to the game, he would play scout team quarterback and tell the defense all the characteristics and mannerisms of the Raiders quarterback, Rich Gannon, and had his defense totally prepared. And boy, did they play well and won their first Super Bowl title.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go, Wait.
On play action, Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's complete to Jones. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 22.
He's checking credit. 45, Mike, 45. All day, every day, any day.
Watson now to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll try the right side here with Miller. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
You're set. 19. 54. Bring it. Bring it. 24. Hey, watch out. Watch out. Check. Go. 54. Cut. He's coming. 54. We got double up. Line him, go.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson, complete. It's Johnson. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring out the third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line.
We're set. 19. 145. Get the ball. High alert. Watch twins.
Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0. Off the board.
We're set. 19. Check 45. Come on. Not today, you want? Not today.
After the penalty, it's Miller. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Miller running right. And he'll go down at the 28. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Miller. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
45 for Mike. Here we go, here we go.
Watson on 3rd down. He finds his target, Fuller. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Switch it. Hey, 31. Mike's 5-4. 36. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. Hey, pick your game up.
Watson just beating the play clock. Being chased out left. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The kick by Bryant is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds like counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Ready? Flag! Give me that ball, defense! Follow! Easy.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, 68 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Set. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. That's caught out wide by Stills. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Watch 54. Watch the slant. Slam. Check. Hey, 59.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
59. Hey, Mike 52.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Again, it's Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Watson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
54. 55. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. They're running it. Check. Alert.
To throw is Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. 63 yards, and the Texans get a bit closer. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is down to 28-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. They're on 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A good pickup of 6 there on first down. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans. 69 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Lamar Miller, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26.
26-yard line.
Now it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker. Backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
From the gun, here's Watson. Forced out to his left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
45's the mic. Man, I got you. 45. Mike, 45. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans cut into that lead. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2. covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
That's another Texans first down.
Watson now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10.
My 31! Hey, Watson, my 59! 54, Mike, 54.
Operating from the gun, Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Vita Vea able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down.
Shift. Shut down. Motion. Check.
Here we go on 4th. Watson, and that is going to be incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Hey, get in the weight room. Hey, stop. Let's go.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Jones. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Check the backer. Watch, twist. Flip it. Joker. Bang. Sonic. Check 37. Switch ball. Check 81. 24. Sonic. Alert 3.
Jones. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Winston, he completes it to Evans. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 44-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Double tight. We got 4. 87 smart. I got 89. Let's go.
Here's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. This is Miller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Buccaneers' 35-yard line.
This is it. 19. 54. It's been a long day for you.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Going quickly here to Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Motion, motion, motion.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. 3 buzz, 3 buzz. Right there.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ready? Blue lady. I'm here all day. Spot. Wait. No. Wait.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 48 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Jameis to throw it. Caught by Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Jones. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
It looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
Mike 54. That's it. You better bring. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring. 54. Set, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 4th down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
From the 50, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
A gain of 22 more yards. That's another
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Now Watson operating from the gun. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Ready, blue ready, 55. All day, just like that, just like that.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.